Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now? Right, turn that off, turn that down. Right, now I can crack on with the stream. Well, so we need a team of the season. So Juice can go in. Then you usually need a load of 83s and 82s, and I think it's the last one. It might be the second to last one. I don't know. Oh, I might have too many. Too many 82s. It's 83. Yeah, I thought so. Might wife throw in an 84. There we go. Yeah, 184, and that's 84 rated. Yeah, it's all the 84 times 10, so something to start off with. 84 times 10, first one. It's a blue. It's a Brazilian CDM. It's Casemiro for birthday. It's with a, oh, it's a Foot Fantasy hero. Who's that? Lucio, nice. Team of the season, Otamendi with a Haaland and a Renard and a Kobo. That's a decent all times 10, that is. Get rid of those duplicates. I guess what we'll start with is oh, we'll finish Dybala first. I do need to finish him. Who did I get? I had a pretty sure Otamendi. I got a duplicate Lucio. Put a Kunde in there. And we had Casemiro as well, didn't we? Where's Casemiro? Ah, there he is. What's the goals looking like? Alright, 85s, or is that too low? It's too low. 86, too low. 88, too low. There he is. Oh, Jay. Oh, there we go. There's actually technical difficulties in the background. Oh. Oh, right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sound, okay. I'm just checking because the first like 5 minutes of my stream had no audio for some reason.
Huh. It's no good.
No, it isn't. But anyway, either way, we
double check that my audio is shared.
It should be. I've included party audio, so if you can't hear you, then it's definitely.
think it is.
1 second. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you on stream.
Alright.
Yeah, your sound. Right.
Oh, there's a new premium Evo.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do it purely just because it's one you
Oh
pay
wow,
for.
I could put my what type of car is this? Thunderstruck Gomez into it. It'd be 95 rated.
I can put in my 88 Romero,
So how would actually be?
but I've got his team of the season and his 95, so don't necessarily need it.
See, I could put my Gomez in it, and like his stats go quite crazy to be fair, but then it gives him like a lot of useless playstyles for a defender, like power shot plus, finesse shot plus, and rapid plus. I don't think you really need those on a defender.
No, I don't know.
That kind of go hards. I could even put Shaqiri in it. That'd be funny.
It would be funny, but I wouldn't recommend it. Right? Alright, so I got some of you back in.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Right, is there anything you want to cover when we're on the football talk, or is there?
I think personally, I'd quite like to start with Liverpool's first pre-season game.
Yeah. Was it Real Betis you played in it?
Real Betis, yeah. I didn't get to watch the game as such, but I did a watch along with a YouTuber.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did a watch along with a YouTuber I follow, which obviously you know I briefly showed you and you were listening to it as well.
Yeah.
And then I did go after the game and watch some of the highlights. And first of all, like, really good goal from Szoboszlai. I think if he can stay consistent like that through the entirety of the season, he'll be very, very good for us.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of what we had a bit with Szoboszlai at the start of last season, is he showed us these glimpses of something special, and then he did get his injury and sort of was absent for the rest of the season. But no, that goal against Real Betis, I think, very promising to see in Szoboszlai showing us those glimpses again of being a special player.
Yeah, I think towards the end of the back end of the season, I thought he was a bit lackluster. I think he had a good first few months when he came in, but
yeah,
he did have a few where he did have a bit of a drop off period.
It was very much as well like the first couple goals he scored for us as well. Everybody was doing the Gerrard comparisons, like the way he would smash that ball into the back of the net. It reminded me of Gerrard, and I think it reminded a lot of Liverpool fans of Gerrard. It definitely had that same sort of feel that we got when obviously Gerrard used to play for us.
Right.
And I think that's why, personally myself, I think he is a special player, and if he can stay fit and consistent, he will be special.
Yeah, he's definitely got that in him. I've watched a lot of Liverpool over the last season, and it really depends on like how Slot's going to really use him. Like,
yeah.
And to be fair, he didn't have the best Euros as well.
No, not at all.
People, but yeah, no, it's swings and roundabouts really, isn't it? So, but yeah. I did see the score. I did see the score in the end. I didn't watch the game, but
yeah,
I saw you got the win. But
I think, like, how do I put this? Like, I feel like we could have done more that game. I don't think Real Betis was that good from what I could see. Like, I think we had, was it double their shots or something like that? I have to pull up the stats to double check that. But I think they didn't seem as strong as us, sort of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. But one thing I can't. Oh, Footy's icon.
Okay, no, I was wrong on that. So Liverpool did have more shots, but it wasn't like double. So we had 9 shots and Real Betis had 7 shots. but it was the shots on target. So we had 3 shots on target while they had 1.
Yeah.
And then possession also reflects as well. 63% to Liverpool, only 37 to Real Betis. So it definitely seems like we were the better team, and we probably should have done more. I think we probably should have scored another goal.
Yeah, but in all fairness to you lot, right? You are under a new system now. You've been playing it because obviously this team is obviously they've fully adjusted to Klopp's tactics, and a lot of the players have done so for multiple seasons on end. They're so familiar to how Klopp usually plays, but now you've got a new manager in who plays a completely different style of football. Your players need to sort of get used to that.
Well, it was the YouTuber that I was watching after the game. He said, and I completely agreed. Like with Klopp, his style of football, it was almost like, I wouldn't say defensive, but it was more defensive than the way Slot seems to be playing. Like Arne Slot, the way we played against Real Betis under him, it felt like it was more fluid football sort of thing. Like our players were moving faster, making quicker passes. It felt more fluid sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it will be very exciting to see how Slot utilizes our players, because it did seem much more fluid, and I mean, a lot of the youngsters obviously got into it against Real Betis, and a lot of them seemed very confident, which was quite surprising, because I mean, Real Betis is not a small club by any means. They've got some decent players, and I can't remember which one it was. One of our young midfielders, and he just had so much confidence on the ball. He just seemed like he knew what he was doing, sort of thing.
You need players like that. I think that's good. It's good to have like young players, good because they're all they're trying to do is they're trying to get into the first team. They're trying to prove themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, and what I mean, like the YouTuber said as well, like which I completely agree with. Like, obviously, I'm gonna struggle to say his name again. The what's his name? Carvalho.
Carvalho. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Obviously, he had some problems with Klopp, and it's why he went on loan twice. First to was it Leipzig, and then again to Hull.
He went to Leipzig and came back when he sent him out on Hull. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think from what I've read, he had some problems with Klopp, and like the YouTuber was saying, like this is his chance to prove to Arnie that he had problems with Klopp, but he's a good player and he can start, sort of thing. This is his chance to prove that he needs to be in that starting 11.
Yeah.
And that is definitely the case with all the players. Arnie Slot has taken over the team. He's inherited the team. He's got all of these, really quite world class players.
Yeah.
That obviously Klopp has developed, but they're not guaranteed a space. That is the thing people need to remember. It's a new manager. He's got to decide what he wants, how he wants to play the team, and ultimately who gets to play. So everybody's pretty much got to start from scratch to prove that they deserve to be in that starting 11.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a. That's the thing, because when it comes to football, training is competitive. It can be, because obviously you've got the same players competing for one spot. So it's good to have confident players in your team.
And I mean, just going on a side note, like when I said before that I would still very much like it if we went on to sign somebody like Yuki Sugawara, I feel we needed that, because Trent has been quite comfortable at right back, and I feel he needs that competition. But then saying that now, Connor Bradley looks really solid on that role, and he definitely could, this season,
I like him.
giving Trent that pressure.
I really like Connor Bradley.
Yeah. And I think that is very good from our youngsters. They are starting to show that they want to push for these roles, and they're going to start pressuring players like Trent. This is just my personal opinion, but I think Trent has got very comfortable at his position.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's a good player, but he got too comfortable to the point that you started to see him making defensive mistakes. And it's there was no fear of him getting dropped because he was our only option, sort of thing, if you get what I mean.
He's not a very physical lad, Trent. That's also is one of his biggest weaknesses, and like that, and that's why I don't. He isn't a defender, but at the same time, like what else can you really do besides Conor Bradley?
Yeah.
Because like obviously that's where he plays. But the thing is, we've
Yeah.
tried. Obviously, everyone's tried to let's play him in midfield shout, which happened in the Euros, and that didn't go well. So where do we really go with it?
The, this is where it obviously gets difficult for individual players because I like Trent. I think he has a lot of ability. I think he is a really good player, but I don't know if he fits the system anymore. Because part of me says, well, maybe you could play him as a right midfielder, so he doesn't have the pressure of being in the centre of the field, and he's still got the ability to sort of play how he does at right back anyway.
Yep.
But he doesn't have the extreme defensive responsibilities he has at right back. But then that's changing the entire Liverpool squad to fit around one player, which in football I don't think you should ever really be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, City do that all the time.
Well, yeah, but it is coming to the point. Then is what do we do with Trent? Like, do we keep him and just help?
I think you
Like,
do. I don't think you get
hopefully,
rid of him because at the same time
yeah.
we still got like it's been one game, right? 2 games actually, 2 games. So we're still yet to see how Slot's team does
Oh yeah.
competitively in the league. We've still got to see how you do in your first game of the season, and you've got quite a while left in the window to try and actually
Oh yeah.
strengthen.
Well, it's like I think Slot said himself, like he wants to use these couple of preseason games to sort of evaluate the squad and then make decisions on where he needs to make improvements with the transfer window.
Yeah, and that makes
Um,
sense.
Absolutely. I mean, I did read this morning. Apparently, Liverpool are still extremely interested in that Swedish striker from Porto. Um, what's his name? Gautiers? Is it something
Gyökeres, he
like
plays for
that?
Sporting, not
Yeah.
Porto, but yeah,
Sorry, yeah,
Gyökeres.
Sporting. I was reading because apparently Arsenal are also interested in him, but I think
A lot of teams are interested in him
yeah.
because he's very,
But
very good.
from what I was reading, I think he is on top of Slot's list if he goes down that direction because obviously it is a bit uncertain what's going to happen with obviously Nunez and if he's getting a ban or what's going on there.
Yeah, I've not really seen much more on the Kubo rumors. I've just seen that
Um,
that there's just subtle
I
interest, but I've not really
I
seen
did
much
see
besides that.
something about it. Somebody in Liverpool, I don't know who it was exactly. It was like part of the Liverpool team to do with Slot and everything. He said that they're not interested in him. It was all hyped up for nothing. It was
Okay, okay.
because apparently it was a rumor that came from Endo's podcast. So Endo has a podcast where he talks about football all the time, and it was one of the guests he had on the podcast asked him if he could pick one of his Japanese teammates to bring to Liverpool. Who would he pick? And he said Kubo. And from there, everybody made this rumor that Liverpool were
Oh,
interested in
really?
him. But apparently, that is not the case. We're not interested in him at all. So again, just rumors that people make up based on what
Okay.
they've heard. So, but no, apparently it was just Endo saying that if he could pick one player to come to Liverpool, it
Yeah,
would
so
be
Fabrizio
Kubo.
got fooled then.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but then again, like I read that, so again that could be wrong. We could be interested. You never know. Sometimes it's hard to know what's real in
Yeah,
football
like
transfer talk.
Fabrizio Romano, he's hardly ever wrong. Like he
Yeah,
can be on the off day, but he usually isn't. But,
yeah. Usually he's fairly accurate on what he says, but yeah, from as far as I can see, it was a rumor made up based on what Endo said in his podcast. But speaking of Endo, he didn't have a very good game against Real Betis, did he?
well, no, I looked. I did look at his personal stats, and he lost the ball more times than he'd made tackles. So.
Yeah. But then, like, looking.
Oh!
What have you got now?
Sorry. Like to put a halt on the football talk. Oh, oh, baby.
Let's see, what did you get? Oh, that's nice. Bellingham!
Just wanted to make sure my audio
That's
still.
nice.
Want to make sure I'm still capturing the audio.
Right, so as I was saying, yeah, so I did look at Endo's stats from the game. He's still got a 4-star rating, like, from people voting on
Yeah.
Google for his performance, which, obviously, 4 stars is still quite good, but stats-wise, he didn't do great. I think he started off quite bad in the game. I think he gave away the ball, like, very, very early on in the game.
Yeah.
But I think he did sort of improve himself towards the end of the first half, and then obviously he was subbed off for the second half.
I think where the thing is with Endo, like, he shouldn't be starting for you. And I don't hate the guy. I don't
Yeah.
like. This isn't from a place of hatred or anything, but there's
The
just
thing with
he just doesn't have that quality.
no, like we discussed Endo before. I think with Endo, he's really good at what he does. Like he is a very, oh, I would say talented. He is rather talented at what he does. You know, obviously, you look at his stats from last season and the season before in the Bundesliga. He is a good player and he does show it. But you know, obviously, is he like 32 years of age? He's getting on.
He's in his
I could
30s.
be. Yeah, he's getting on with his age, and you shouldn't be starting a player like that, especially
Nah.
when he's sort of come in as a last minute thing to replace, you know, someone we sold way back. So I do really like him. I think, you know, as an extra player for Liverpool, you know, you know, a rotational player, great, yeah, perfect. Endo fits, but Slot, I definitely think Slot needs to. That should be on his priority list as well for this window. Is to buy an actual 6, get somebody who will play that defensive role.
Yeah, I think a player like Endo would probably work as like a substitution. Like if you're trying to just hold a result or trying to just
Yeah.
like if you're a goal up and you know like 20, 15 minutes to go, you're a goal up and you want to try and just hold the result. Endo's probably one of the player you can bring on just to sort of just as that defensive option. But I don't think he's not a player that should be starting week in week out because not only that, if he gets injured, who have you got? You're going to play McAllister there,
Yeah.
and he's an even worse option than. Not because he's a bad player, but because he's not. He shouldn't be playing in that position. Because Klopp has been doing that sometimes.
Well, I mean, McAllister did well for us playing the 6 last season, but it is not his natural position. He is an attacking midfielder, so he needs to be, you know, higher up the pitch. I definitely think I agree with you on that. Like Endo, he is the type of defensive midfielder that is going to help us win those, you know, clinch games in the last 20, 30 minutes. Like you bring him on, he's going to have the energy to compete with some of these, you know, physically strong and fast players in the Premier League. You know, and like Endo, he can strike the ball as well. So you know, if it gets down to it in those last minutes, you know, he could score a winner. He's definitely capable of doing those sort of things. Yeah, I just think Slot needs to buy an actual, you know, starting 6 this window. Needs to get somebody who's going to start every single game, play full 90 if they have to, get, you know, work with the defense to keep goals out of our net.
I think my issue, because like going back to when you said like Slot was trying to evaluate the team through pre-season before he starts looking at transfers and how to strengthen the squad. When it comes to that 6 role, I think that should be a top priority. Like the second he comes into the team, like
Yeah,
because there's not really much to evaluate in that position. So
well,
I feel like he should be just prioritizing that anyway.
I mean, it's been a priority since Fabinho left.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, you had the whole Caicedo thing, and then, well, they bought Endo as a result, and I think in a way, Klopp was holding out for Stefan. I think he's a very promising young player. I think he works really well in the 6 role, and you know, going forward, he probably will be our number 6 starter. I just think in the meantime, we need somebody else. We need somebody who's going to do that job right now. We can't hold out and wait for Stefan to develop into the player he can be. We just need to get somebody now.
And Stefan's more of a player you need to sort of give him little tasters in games, like
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know,
he's
like
still
half an hour,
only
maybe 30 minutes, but
what, like 18, 19 years old. So
yeah,
he's still really young as well. So he
I know. But I think I've got like again, that's completely valid. Like you want to try and work your youngsters into your team, but I think you still need that, proven, you know, unit in that position
yeah.
because Ender can do it, but he's not a unit, is he? I think
No.
he could be easily beaten by like a Haaland or something.
And see, like, this is the thing. This is why I don't hate the fact we got Endo. Like, I know it was a last minute thing, and we missed out on Caicedo, and there was other options we could have got.
Lavia as well,
But
yeah.
yeah, but like Endo, he is still good enough to be like, he can do it. He just obviously isn't a long time permanent solution to do it.
Oh, completely, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has, like, definitely last season he did, because there was a lot of like skepticism from a lot of other football fans saying, "Oh, Endo's, he's not him, he's not going to do it." And I think Endo did do a very good job last season of sort of proving, well, actually, I can do this. But he's just not the permanent solution. He's
No,
good.
he's
I really
definitely
like
not.
the guy. Just we do need to spend the money and get
Yeah, like,
somebody in.
I will die on this hill that Endo was a panic buyer. Like, I will die on that hill, but yeah, he's not been terrible,
I
but
no,
you need someone better. Like,
it's like I didn't think he was a panic buy to start with. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Now I'm like, okay, he was a panic buy, but he probably was the best panic buy we've made. He has sort of proven himself to be good. He's just, like I said, he's just not our permanent
yeah,
six.
I think because there's a lot of evidence that points towards that being the case, only because of how many players you tried to sign before him that you weren't
Yeah,
getting. Like, not that Bellingham would have been a six, but you wanted Bellingham, didn't get him. You wanted Caicedo, you didn't get him. Then you wanted Lavia, you didn't get him.
yeah.
And then
And then,
now you're an Endo.
literally, what was it, like 2 days before the window end, and then
I
they
think
got
even Catherine
Endo.
Taram you were interested in as well.
Yeah.
I think there were reports that you wanted him. But
It's like, obviously, I do like Japanese players. I always think they are very, performance driven players. There's
yeah,
lots of examples of them being, willing to put in the effort. Um, I mean, one of my favourite footballers of all time to watch is Nakata. I just think he was special. And then, I mean, I did really like Tomiyasu when he first came to Arsenal. I thought his work effort, it reminded me of, like, Ronaldo. Like, the fact he was willing to put so much effort into training. And then, obviously, he was very unfortunate to have a lot of injuries and stuff. So I do like Japanese players, and I really do hope Endo stays with us for a while. I don't think he should be starting all the time. I just think
no.
he's a great squad player. He really is.
Um, right, so I think we should move on to your first game, really. Since we're on the topic of Liverpool, we'll go on to your first game. Well, no, that hasn't kicked off yet, but
Yeah,
yeah, you're the early kick-off on Saturday, the 17th of August. You go to Ipswich away.
yeah.
What are you thinking that's going to be like?
Um, it's always a funny one because I've always felt like watching Liverpool. We always seem to be funny. Like, we've always seemed to struggle against teams you would expect us to thrash, and then we could talk about the famous 7-0 against Man United, where I wouldn't have expected that in a million years.
Yeah,
But I think Slot looks very promising. I think he's going to do some wonderful things with the team.
yeah.
And I think our first game against Ipswich, like, I would love to say, oh yeah, it's going to be easy, like 5-0 win for Liverpool, but I'm thinking we might just win it comfortably at like 2 or 3-0, just because it'll be our first sort of game.
Yeah.
You know, Slot's still new and players are still getting used to him. I think we'll definitely win it. I like Ipswich. I think, you know, they've done really well to get back up to the Prem and stuff, but I don't think they're going to be beating us. I don't even think they're going to put a goal
No, I
past
agree.
us. I think it will be a comfortable win.
I don't like your defense. I think still needs a bit of work
Yeah.
because when you have the likes, like obviously you still got Van Dijk, then you got Konate who's in and out the team with whether injuries or just I don't know not been good enough. Trent can be a liability defensively depending who he's against, and I don't think Robertson's it anymore. I think you probably need to work a bit more towards that left back position as well.
Yeah.
Because Simicast isn't really good backup either, in my opinion. But
no, I mean, the defense has been sort of a funny one since I'd say 2019 sort of thing. Like when we won the league, you know, our defense, you know, probably was one of the better defenses in the world, and I don't. Yeah, it just feels like a lot of our defenders have either fallen off or haven't developed as fast as we were kind of hoping to. Yeah, like I said, Trent, you know, he's not very physically strong and he's a little bit inconsistent. And then, I mean, Connor Bradley is promising. I think he will be, you know, good in that position. And then Simicast and Robertson,
yeah,
I like them both. I think they're pretty good players, but again, probably need to make a change there. And
yeah.
then like Van Dijk, he is still a really good centre back, but the mistakes he's making more and more mistakes, and you know it happens in football. I get that, but it, you know you just start to wonder. You know, is it worth considering replacing Van Dijk, or you know, is he still got a couple more seasons? Like,
I'm not sure because given last season he was like back to his best really. So
yeah, like
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
mean.
It
He
depends.
just seems to
I
go
think
up and down.
with him, see how the season goes. I think if he's just
Mm.
as good, then I don't see why you shouldn't just keep him in the team until
Yeah.
he either retires or he wants to go. But if he honks up this season, I think maybe it's time for him to call it a day.
And then like you said with Kanate, looks very promising. You know, just as long as he can stay fit, he should be fine. And then Van der Berg kind of looked good against Real Betis, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, him going forward. And then one that I think he was on loan last season, a young Frenchman by the name of Billy Coulimente, I think his name is. Um, I've seen a couple clips of him, and he is quite young, but I think possibly could be a decent centre back going forward. Obviously, still young, needs time to develop, but I think defensively possibly could do with making a signing of a new left back or a new centre back, just as you know, some backup. But I think Trent is still. I think Trent's still good enough at what he does to be like, yeah, we don't need to replace him probably, but he just needs to be pushed more, sort of thing. He needs to be pushed to be playing his best all the time.
I think Connor Bradley can do that.
Yeah. And I think that is why if we do need a defensive signing, I think either a left back this window or look for maybe a backup centre back in the January window.
So since you're looking at these positions that you'd look to sign, who would you want to bring in? Like what player? What player would you think this would fit in this Liverpool slot system?
I'm not really sure yet. I don't think I've seen enough of slots play to sort of say, oh yeah, this player would fit that yet. I just think those are the positions that you probably needs to look at possibly reinforcing. It obviously a lot of it will depend on how the rest of this preseason goes, and then maybe our first two games or whatever. Because genuinely, I don't know who I would say I think would be a good fit.
Hmm.
I mean, I think the biggest thing, like, if I was to say centre back wise, the biggest one for me would have been Kim Min Jae. Obviously, there were
Yep.
links to him last season, and then obviously he went to Bayern. I think he was probably the biggest one for me. I thought, I think he's good. I think he would fit into the Liverpool team. I think he would do
I'd back
well.
that. I'd back that signing.
So, again, though, we just have to see mainly.
Yeah. What expectations do you have for Liverpool this season? Like, what do you think? Do you think you're going to finish with the trophy? Do you think you're going to get? Where do you think you're going to?
Um,
What league position do you think you're going to finish? Like, what you
I
thinking?
think, I think, I think probably get top three again. I definitely sort of expect that, considering how well we did last season with injuries and everything. I think this season, new management, new play style. I think we could push for title again. Probably not get it, but I think we could push for it, and then I could fully see us winning another cup again this season. I think it's very much on the table.
I'll
Um,
be very surprised if you challenge for the title. I think this season will be like your settling in season, where like obviously it's Slot's going to be Slot's first season with you lot. So I think your team's still got to take some time to adjust. It's not going to just click overnight. They've got to try and this is what training is
yeah.
for. Obviously he's going to have his tactics. Players got to sort of work around it because it's not going to be the same, obviously. So I feel like it's going to be a settling in season. Could you win a cup on the side? Yeah, probably. I wouldn't put it past you, but I don't see you challenging for the league.
I,
This
I
not this
mean,
season. Not this season.
I could though, because I feel like we do have enough quality in the squad. I feel like if it goes well, if the players gel with Slot's system very quickly, I feel like yeah, we very well could, because I think we do have the quality. I think some of the players we have are you know near that world class status. I think with Salah, with Van Dijk, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Louis Diaz. Like I think these players definitely have the quality to push for a title. I don't think we would win it, but I think we could push and be up there, sort of thing. It does depend though whether the players adjust to Slot system fast or not. I think that will be very much the decider whether or not we stay up to the top of the table.
It won't be. I don't think it will be a failure if you don't,
No,
because
definitely not.
I think the expectations from a lot of like outsider fans will probably be a bit iffy as well, because you've had the same guy for years now. So it's hard to say
Yeah,
what this new Donny coming in is going to do. But if he does a good job, he does a good job.
yeah.
But look, going at pre-season, and obviously you lost to Preston, but then you beat Real Betis. So I don't know. I think
Um,
it could
yeah,
be a lot of ups and downs for Liverpool this season. Like you could probably
yeah.
beat some of the bigger teams, but then you might throw a few results to the lower teams. It could be wrong. I could be wrong, and you could fly away with the league. Really, it's football.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. But going purely off
Um,
pre-season, that is a likelihood.
no, I can see that. I mean, I do say though, like with the Preston game, I don't think you know it's a big thing to sort of test our ability off because
No, yeah,
um, I mean most of the squad were youth players and Salah basically. There weren't really any regular starters in the team other than Salah, so
hmm. Okay. Um,
ooh.
is there anything else you want to touch on about Liverpool, or should we move on?
Um, I think that's it really. I just think see how the rest of preseason goes. See what sort of Slot is cooking up, and then
Hmm.
hopefully get. I reckon if we get a minimum of two transfers, maximum of three this window, I think I'd be very happy.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think we need I think we definitely need a six, possibly a backup defender, and then some sort of a striker because the fear that Nunes is going to get some sort of a ban or something.
Yeah,
I think
that could
if
be
we
very
could
likely.
sign 2 or 3 players under that criteria, I think I'd be very happy with this window.
All right then. Well, I guess we'll move on to Spurs, then, shall we?
Yes, the Spurs.
The Spurs. Right,
The
so
Spurs.
we've had a pretty good run in pre-season so far. We've had about 4 games. So we drew to Newcastle but lost on penalties. And we beat Hearts 5-1, beat QPR 2-0, and we beat Kobe yesterday 3-2. And we've got a few games left to play. So I don't know. What should we think about that?
Oh, these thunderstruck players are going to stop pissing me off. Every time I get one, I'm thinking, "Oh, icon." Oh, right. Um, Where to go with Spurs? Right. Think first of all, what do you think of transfers and stuff so far?
I'm a bit worried. A
You
bit
are?
worried with transfers, yeah. We've brought Archie Gray in, which is a great signing. He's a good young lad. He's versatile. Can play that full-back spot. He can play midfield. He's quite a techie lad as well, and
I
it
think
wasn't too
I
much
meant
money.
I think I mentioned to you before. One of my mates who's a Liverpool fan said that he would have wanted him for Liverpool. So I think
Yeah, you mentioned that.
he's a
Yeah,
very, very attractive player. I think seems like a lot of football fans out there would have wanted him for their team. So I think you've done very good to snap him up.
yeah. Um, but yeah, obviously we signed that Korean lad as well.
Yeah,
I can't forget what his name was. But which he's obviously a future signing. So we've loaned him back until January. He's coming in then.
yeah.
He's 18 years old, and I've got no issue with the future signings. But my biggest issue, right, is quite a few times in interviews, Ange is coming out with, we're gonna strengthen here. We're going for this, and this in the window, but I'm seeing absolutely nothing. I'm seeing a
Just
load of
from the
like
opposite sort of thing.
Twitter rumor accounts that aren't reliable, talking about we're going to go for this player, we're going to go for this player, but they're like, there's nothing really further about it.
Right.
Like we're getting
Yeah.
players out, which is good. Like we're
Yeah.
getting quite a bit of the deadwood out.
I can see a lot of players that have gone that you'd be quite happy about.
Yeah, so yeah, Brian Gill could be going out back to Girona, which makes sense because they got rid of Savio to Man City, so they need a somewhat replacement, and he's still young, so
Yeah.
he could do well over there. Reguilon could be going as well, and
Yeah.
Højbjerg is gone.
Yeah.
There was rumours of a Lo Celso Jacob Ramsey swap deal with Aston Villa that I've heard nothing about since.
Yeah.
Um, I know I'm getting a bit frustrated because our team, on paper it looks good, but like going off the season, we can't be starting the first half of the season on a high and then completely collapse in second half like last season. We can't have a repeat of that.
Yeah.
We really can't.
Because last season you looked really, really good to start with.
We
Like
did, yeah.
I genuinely thought like, oh wow, I've completely gone blank on your manager's name now.
Ange Postecoglou, yeah.
Yeah, Ange. I was thinking like first half of the season. I was thinking like, oh my god, is Ange gonna come into the Prem and win the Prem on his first season, coming straight off the back from, was it a treble with Celtic?
Yes.
Yeah, so like first half of the season, like Spurs, I genuinely thought like, is Ange coming and he's breaking your curse? Is he gonna win you a big trophy?
No, but then
And then yeah,
which
you just lost
yeah,
momentum.
we completely collapsed, and you know, obviously it is part of the reasons why, but I don't really want to just get. I know it's not. We're not the only ones that have had to deal with this issue, but like we did get hit hard with injuries, and a lot of teams have. I know before people start crying,
Yeah.
but we
There's been
we
a
got we were
lot.
hard. We were hit heavy.
Yeah,
And
I mean, there was a lot of injuries last season.
on
A
top of
lot of big
that,
ones.
fucking hell, 1 second. On top of that, like we had, so I think we had Madison, Van der Ven, who else we had? Bentancur for a bit, Richarlison,
Yeah.
who else did we have out? I think we had a lot of our backup players were injured as well.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we had Son going to Asian Cup.
Yeah.
And then we had Sarr and Basuma go out to AFCON. So like it wasn't just injuries; it was international competitions as well. So we had hardly any like quality players on our team, and that was the start of everything going downhill. And then not even on the top of that, Romero got booked for a few games. Udogie got booked for a few games. But he got sent off. They were suspended. So we had to deal with Emerson Real at centre back for a few games until Van der Ven came back. And it was and then we dumped out the cups early, which wasn't ideal. Because like those like Carabao Cup and FA Cup is probably our best chances of winning something. Like not that we're gonna win them, but if we were to win a trophy, those are the most probable ones that we would win.
Right.
But my issue right now with the transfers is because the amount of games that's not only Spurs but a lot of the other teams have to play. It's getting a bit worrying because not only have we got the league, we've got the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then all the European competitions now have a new format, which is even more games than it was before.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's in a way like the way I sort of see football going now. It's like almost like every team needs like 2 squads sort of thing to be able to play all of these games.
Yeah.
And like if you don't, and like if you've got a lot of sort of dead wood hanging about on the bench, you're not going to be able to compete in these competitions.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does very much seem like the future of football is, you're not only going to be able to just spend big money on your first team. It looks like you're going to have to be buying big on your reserves as well, because the nature of how competitive some of these competitions are getting, it's like, where does the limit come when it comes to the class in your team?
The thing is, I'm not asking for like big money sign, like £100 million signings. But we just even if it's like depth, we need something.
Yeah.
Like we can't just keep buying players for the future because what about now?
Yeah.
Like we need to focus on now as well as 2 or 3 years time. And then that's the irritating part because I'm looking at Fabrizio Romano on Twitter and I'm seeing all these clubs are making signings, making decent signings, and Spurs are just fucking nothing. Absolutely
Twiddling
nothing
their
so far.
fingers, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does get a bit worrying. Like sometimes you think, well, maybe the manager's got something planned, maybe he's working on something, but you need the transparency, like, because football is such a public thing. We need to know what's going on. We need to know what the plans are, what you're sort of trying to do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get these suspenseful moments like, well, what's going on? What are we doing? Because I feel like a big thing with your club, particularly, is like, obviously you haven't won a major trophy in some time, and
God knows how long, mate. God knows how long.
A lot of prize money comes with these competitions, and if you're not competing in these competitions to get into the higher levels, well, the money's not coming.
That's the thing. Like we're now becoming we're now like one of the richest clubs in Europe now. Like, and not like the richest, but like if there was like a top 10 of like richest clubs, we'd probably be on there. Like the amount of money we're bringing in through like revenue, shirt sales, and a new stadium as well. we're making so much money, but we're not spending it.
No, it's like one of the most incredible things for you as well is like the whole fact that your stadium could be used for, was it American football?
NFL,
Like,
Super Bowl.
yeah, like you've got the ability to bring all of this money in, and then it's just not reflected back in the team. It seems.
Not only that, like fucking Josh in his room right now, he's got a Red Hot Chili Peppers poster because they had a concert last summer at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He went there.
Yeah,
I think Beyonce had a concert at Tottenham Stadium as well.
it's like you've
Having
definitely got
all this revenue coming in, we're not spending
yeah,
it.
you've got the revenue coming in. It's just putting it back into your squad to be able to then go and compete for trophies, to give the fans what they've been asking for so long.
Exactly, it's crazy. Like,
No, I definitely think going forward, like your team, like Spurs, will do well. I think you definitely seem to be heading in the right direction. It's just
yeah,
you
completely.
need a little
Yeah.
bit more transparency, and you need to know a bit more what's going on. It's like you've still got a couple people you need to get rid of from the club. Like, there's a
Yeah, like
couple
I'm
more
scrolling through
players.
Fabrizio Romano. He said 38 minutes ago. AC Milan can close Emerson Royal deal next week as round of new talks will take place with Spurs, which fucking
Please,
finally.
Take him, please.
Mate, I'd give him to them for free. Fuck off.
I mean, like, yeah, I think your team, you know, going forward, like, I don't want to say you're planning for the future, but you sort of are.
We are a bit.
But I do agree. You do need to, you know, you need to focus a bit more on what's going on right now.
Because
Like,
Archie Gray can do a job. Like he's quality at Leeds now, and he can easily get a few minutes, like subbing in, or he can be excellent cover as well, and he's proven
Yeah.
himself right now. But he is also a future signing because he is about like 18,
Yeah.
19 years old. But then like this Korean lad we've just signed and sent on back on loan to his club, he is a future signing,
yeah.
and he won't get much game time when he comes over here in January.
One thing I always wonder, right, is do you ever think sometimes some clubs, when they're signing younger players, do you think sometimes they're being a bit too ambitious? Because I think we saw that with Chelsea last season. It just seems that like Chelsea was signing every youngster that seemed promising.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a bit too much of that in football as a whole. Is there too many clubs jumping on the youngsters straight away? Like, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion. I think a lot of clubs need to focus more on their youth squads, like Liverpool does a lot. Like, you need to take a step back from jumping on the youngsters as soon as they come through at another team and focus on your own sort of thing and let them
I have
develop
that
at
same
their own
opinion
pace.
for the World Cup and Euros.
Yeah,
Because how many times do we see a player that has a decent
Doing-
campaign in these
Yeah.
international tournaments that get big money moves in the next
I
when
mean,
the next window opens? We see it quite a lot, and they're not very good.
well, I mean, an example from the Euros just now. I mean, the two Spanish youngsters, Williams, is it? And,
Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal.
Nico Williams, yeah. Like Yamal, he's not going to get a move. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to.
He's got 200 mil release clause, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I mean, was it Nico Williams just had some transfer rumours, or did he actually move?
Barca
I
are looking
can't
to try and get
remember.
him in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, just because he was good at the Euros doesn't mean he's going to be consistent throughout a season.
He was good during the season, but again, it is quite heavily
But
dependent
yeah,
on because look usually because there's a striker Benjamin Sesko, Arsenal were like linked with him, but now
Yeah.
but he was shit during the Euros. I know Arsenal are completely like lost interest in him.
I mean, in a way, you could say that about Bellingham a little bit. Like, you know, obviously he's been great for Real Madrid, and then he didn't have the greatest Euros, and it feels like you know, too many times a lot of clubs are just taking, you know, Euro results and international results as like a reason to sign a youngster.
Yeah, it's not even just youngsters as well. Like
Well, yeah.
Amrabat had a good World Cup with Morocco. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
United jumped on that straight away, and look what happened to him. Shocking.
Wasn't that similar with Onana as well? Like, Onana had a decent season, then he had a really good World Cup. Then United signed him, and he hasn't been good then.
To be fair, Onana's always been solid. I just don't think he was. Like, obviously, he got banned for his doping when he was at Ajax,
Right.
and then he came back and got a move to Inter, which he was good then, and he was good in the Champions League, like when Inter and City were in the final, and he was even
Yeah.
good in that final. So like he's obviously not a bad keeper, but he just hasn't. I think the pressure already got
Struggling
to him
at United,
when
yeah.
he joined, yeah, and it's different level and quality as well.
In like those cases, it could very much be a matter of like, you know, the United fans are expecting, a lot from him. Like obviously he had to live up to,
De Gea,
De Gea,
yeah.
De Gea being, probably one of the best stop shotters in the Premier League for a very long time.
Say stop shots.
Probably.
You mean shot stoppers?
Shot stoppers. That's what I meant. Yeah.
There you go. Good boy.
But yeah, I think he came in, had a lot of expectations on his shoulder, and I don't know if he's cracked under the pressure or he's just, he's just struggling to get into that rhythm.
Hmm. What's a hello, Ash?
Hello.
Hi, Ash.
Is this just a social gathering, or could we be looking at a club session?
Oh, no idea.
Josh has been on GTA all day.
Yeah. Haven't spoken to Josh, so I don't know.
But
But I can save your sanity because I found an exploit you can do on your Evos.
oh,
So, you know those pesky objectives where it says, "Oh, you got to play rivals."
oh yeah.
Well, it turns out if you go into a rivals game and just score 3 own goals, it forfeits you from the match, but it actually still counts as you playing the match. So it will count towards playing a rivals game, and it will count towards just playing a game in general.
That's what that guy did to me yesterday, Jono. You remember I said I was
Yeah,
playing against
yeah.
a guy and he scored 3 goals and then just quit. He scored 3 own goals and then just
Yeah,
quit.
you did say that.
That's what that is. Oh man.
So yeah, you can get through your rivals objectives on your Evos like that if you don't want to actually play rivals. Plus,
Okay.
it does get you a little bit of
handy.
XP, not much, only like 14, 13 XP.
So what? You just literally just start the game, score 3 own goals, and then quit.
Yeah. No, it automatically kicks you when you score 3 own
Oh,
goals.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's.
I didn't
thing.
know that was a thing.
I knew it was a thing. I didn't know it
didn't
actually
know that was a thing.
counted. I didn't know it counted the game, but apparently, yeah, it does count as an actual game.
Okay. I guess because you're not cancelling it as such, the game's cancelling it for you, so that kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that's interesting. I might try that because I know I was struggling with rivals last night. Oh,
No, I was doing it earlier to get through some rivals objectives.
I literally I think last night I literally needed 1 win to get into the next division, and I just couldn't get it. I think my first 3 games were against just really sweaty players that were just better than me, and then the 3rd or 4th game I played, it was an even game, and then the moment I started beating the guy, it's like the game just started lagging, and I'm convinced that he DDoSed me, but he's cheating, man. But you know.
Fuck you, man.
No, it was just very weird because it's like I scored a goal, he scored a goal, I scored a goal, he scored a goal, and then when I scored my 3rd goal to go 3-2, he paused the game, and then all of a sudden I was
Yeah.
on like 9,000 ping. So
There are
I'm
games
just
like
saying
that.
it's a bit weird.
But
But going back to, I was going to say going back to Spurs for a second though, John. I just wanted to ask Richarlison.
Yeah.
What do you want to happen there?
I don't know, because there's been rumours of Saudi clubs wanting him for about like 40ish, 50ish million, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't be opposed to that, but at the same time, I don't think we really need to get rid of him, because when he's
No.
fit, he is good. He has improved a lot over his first season, which he was he was dog shit, but
In a
the
way,
second season he's been great when he's fit.
Yeah, in a way, he kind of reminds me of Darwin Núñez. He doesn't seem to be consistent.
He's not consistently fit. That's the thing. He's
No.
always injured.
And then sometimes, like, it does seem like when he is fit, he just doesn't give you what he should be giving you.
I disagree. I think he's
You
been
think?
yeah, because obviously he's probably our best option as a striker because I don't think Son's a striker as much as he's been utilised
Or
there this
footies?
season. I don't think he has. But I think we need another striker
Oh, I got
because,
that
like going
French
back,
left
like I
back.
said about Liverpool, with the amount of games
Pasta.
you've got going, new format of the European competitions, the league, the other
Yeah.
cups, we need a lot of options. So I think keep Richarlison as a squad player, and then bring in like
Yeah.
a new starting forward. Like what I would want, the signings I would want, like the question I asked you with Liverpool, I also want Gyökeres. That's a player
Yeah.
I would want to sign. I want to get Eze through. Eze or Chiesa, because I've seen a few Chiesa rumours. I'd like a Chiesa. I
Yeah.
think I'd quite like him. And
It seems like everybody wants that Swedish striker now.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of teams want him. He's really good.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we need another centre back. I think we're sorted. Like, we've already got 4 centre backs at the moment.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably say maybe a new left back because we've just got rid of Sessegnon to Fulham. So I don't know. I don't know if we could go in for a left back because one of our youngsters, Jamie Donnelly, who is a striker, but Angie's been playing him at left back during pre-season.
Yeah.
And we've got Mikey Moore coming into the team as well. I really like that kid. He could be the fucking real deal. He looks so good. He's got a few goals as well.
Good.
I'm going through. Like Jed Spencer's been impressing as well since he's come back from Italy. Dane Scarlett as well. He's on one of our young strikers. I don't know. Maybe Ange is looking to introduce some of the youngsters into the team, which I wouldn't hate.
Yeah.
But again, like with Europa League, we're going up to some of Europe's top teams. So I think we're going to need more than just academy players.
Absolutely.
How's everyone's packs been treating them?
Pretty good to be fair.
What was the footies you packed? I didn't. Because you said you got footies.
I got Bompasta.
Nice.
I packed a couple like icons and stuff in my last like 20 packs.
I had 2 footies today. I had a duplicate Ebony Pele.
I'll put up a screen share because you know I'm shit with footballer names.
I got Van Nistelrooy as well.
So I got this yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, I got him as well.
Yeah. So and then I just got Bompasta. And I think that was everything in this team. I got that yesterday as well and Blanc. But then today, so yeah, I got Bompasta. Then I also got this Shaw card. I got Van Nistelrooy. And then I just got this.
Vialli,
what else did I get? Yeah. I got Van Persie.
Yep.
Daka.
Yeah.
Alvarez.
I've got a few decent ones. Honestly, my pack luck was when I opened the packs from all those because I saved all the group reward packs from the crafting ones and opened them all at once. My pack luck was cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Future Stars Abili, 94 woman
Nice.
centre mid. Kante, team of the season. I could put him in the group chat, but I don't know if you saw him. Team of the year, Hansen.
Nice. That's good.
I got Jezinho. Is Galazzo.
Yeah.
And then I did a player pick, and then I got him again.
Nice.
Who else did I get? Today I got Van Nistelrooy's footies. I've got Ebony Pele as well. I got team of the year for Impong, even though I've got his tops.
Nice.
I got team of the season Katoto, the fake Mbappe. I've got team of the season Catherine to Ram, and as you As I told you earlier, as we were talking Liverpool, I got Jude Bellingham's Team of the Year card.
Yeah.
So my pack luck has improved since last night.
I mean, to be fair, like,
I got Neymar
I,
as well.
I should have stood by what Ash said about these Footy's crafting upgrades, because, yeah, like, the first, like, 35, 40 of them I did were just shit. Absolute shit. Like, I got maybe one or two, like, decent 88 rated cards. But, yeah, no, the last, like, 20 I've done, I've got, like, all these icons, the Footies, all that stuff. Like, yeah. quite surprised how good they actually are.
I didn't get a
Told
huge
you.
lot from 77 times 5s, but
That's what I've been getting
it was the
everything
group
from.
it was all the reward packs is what I got all those players out of that I listed.
Yeah.
And some of them were actually from the 84 times 10s today. So very happy.
Yeah, I haven't pre-packed anything today. Though my squad battle rewards, I did get Jesus Navas' 97 card.
Oh, who did I get out of Scott Bells? Oh, yeah, I got some fucking Venezuelan
Which is quite
card. Which what else does really do? I finished Ibala, halfway completed from Modric.
I need some fodder, so I'm going to do some of those 89 exchanges.
Yeah, they've been alright today. Might do a few of these other footies ones.
Yeah, I've got a couple
A few of them are quite cheap today.
cards to get rid of now, so...
I haven't done my daily plays today either.
So no, I should
Got
save
Helen.
that, because that's a... Wait, Tots moments count towards the
Yes.
Tots requirement. Yes, I was going to say. I'll keep him then. Right, so I guess we'll start with you. Probably do like 3 or 4 of these. I get
Stir
some
fry's
lower
banging.
rated cards. Is that the one you were cooking earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, no, I did.
Fifth, mate.
I did chicken rice with.
Oh, for fuck off.
I think I did a bit of kale, some chopped potatoes, and a couple tender stem broccoli heads. But it took like double the amount of time to cook than it should have, because with this heat, I don't know what it is, but my fridge is freezing everything.
Is it?
Yeah, like
My fridge used to
literally,
do that.
I obviously it's because I need to adjust the temperature knob on the fridge, but at the same time I
Yeah.
can't be arsed. So
I was gonna say you don't want two
yeah,
freezers.
everything in it, everything's just freezing in it, and I'm just like, oh, it's fine, whatever. Like literally, when I got the chicken out earlier, like the chicken was rock hard. Like I had to bang it on the side to get it loose.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna, because I got the little stir fry meal deal from Tesco.
Yeah,
They've got like egg noodles, a stir fry mix, and a sauce, a pack of sauce as well for like. You can get all that for like £3.50 with a club card.
oh, yeah.
And I was looking around, and Josh doesn't really have any chicken or any sort of like meat in the fridges. So I ran to Tesco just to get some chicken.
Nice.
So, and then I just raided their herbs and spices and whacked that all into the chicken, which was
Yeah.
fit. And then what I did, I threw some more butter into the pan to deglaze the pan. So also then all the and then I whacked all the stir fry mix in. So it collected all of that like seasoning and juices as well. Fit.
Yeah.
Absolutely fit.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, like I over season everything, but it's definitely worth.
I just eyeball it.
Seasoning than under seasoning.
Fuck it. Look.
I mean, there's nothing worse than like eating like just bland chicken. So
I only went to get some chicken because because I usually get sweet chili sauce with the I like a sweet chili sauce to go with the stir fry. You've got Ronaldo. Oh no, you got Mane. Anyway.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was literally about to say like, what?
No, I just saw centre forward and like Al Massa.
No, yeah.
Oh, you can say choose again.
God damn it, man.
So yeah, I picked up a chow mein sauce, and I thought it'd be weird to have a chow mein stir fry with no chicken in it.
Right, because I got a duplicate tots, I should do an 84 then. Yeah.
And I got a few more monsters as well. I was running low.
To be fair, I've been quite boring with my meals this week. Like I did like salmon.
That's not even a boring meal, mate. That's.
Yeah,
Like, I know I
know,
took the
but
piss out you for calling it Tory, but I love salmon.
but it was just very like basic. Like I definitely want to try going forward next week. Try some more things like 'cause as well. Like I just bought like a couple packets of Uncle Ben's rice just as a base because like I don't want to stock up on like carbs and shit. I want to try
But yeah,
and
you're buying rice.
mostly eat. Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like if you're gonna eat any carbs, rice is probably the best one to eat. So I think if you have like a packet of rice with like a meal every other day sort of thing, you should be alright, or every couple days. Like I feel like rice is one of those things you don't want to be eating it for every meal, but it'll be fine if you have it a little bit.
Yeah. Well.
Because as well, like especially when you're trying to eat less and lose weight, you want to eat something that will sort of make you feel full, and I think rice is definitely one of those things.
Well, it depends really, because sometimes you can just lose weight by just cutting out or just cutting down on like sugary shit and everything,
Yeah.
and just if you keep or just keep within your daily intake of calories. Because if you do that, you can have whatever the fuck you want as long as you
Yeah.
balance it. Because the whole reason people get fat is they don't you just having more calories than you really should do.
Yeah.
Why do I keep
I
getting
mean,
kicked from Ultimate Team every time I try and submit an SBC?
before I
Servers and
started
shit.
this diet, I was probably consuming like 3,500 calories a day, something ridiculous like that. I'm probably only in the region of like 1,500, 2,000 a day now. Like I have massively dropped how many calories I'm consuming. So hopefully, if I just keep it up,